Hello, and welcome to another episode of Glorious Life on Wheels. Oh my goodness, there are so many changes going on all around us, from what has happened with the food stamp situation and the shutdown. But for seniors, there are some other critical changes that you need to be aware of. And those are some of the things that are changing in 2026 for your Social Security benefits. And in this video, I'm going to address about 5 of those. So come on and join me, and I'll tell you which ones I think you really need to know about. The first one, which everyone is probably anxiously awaiting to find out if you don't already know, is the COLA, or the cost of living adjustment, that will be increased to your Social Security checks for 2026. I'm not going to say drum roll because this amount is not worthy of a drum roll. It is 2.8%. Yes, 2.8%. Yep, that is the amount that whatever geniuses make the decisions on what inflation has been over the last year decided it was. That was the figure they came upon. Now, apparently, they monitor certain segments of the economy, and that is how they come to that figure. But I don't know about you, but none of the things, and I mean literally none of the things that I regularly purchase have only gone up 2.8%. Let me give you an example. I buy trash bags, trash compactor bags for my toilet in this van. Last year, those were about $7.80 or somewhere around that. This year, that same package of the same trash compactor bags is now $10.12. I don't know what your math says, but my math says that's almost 30%. Also, there have been some pretty sneaky ways that they've increased prices. For instance, a pack of bacon that I used to buy was a certain price for a pound. Now it's the same price, but it's only 12 ounces instead of the 16 ounces. So again, things have gone up significantly more than 2.8%. Let me know in the comments if you live in an area that your groceries, your services for getting your car serviced, or your house taxes if you own a home, or your house insurance, your car insurance. Let me know if you're in an area that it's only gone up 2.8%. If not, also let me know some of the increases that you've known that are significantly more than 2.8%. Let me know that in the comments. I'm going to refer to my notes for this next section, but in this section, and I say this sarcastically, I'm going to let you know just how much this 2.8% increase in Social Security is going to help millions of the seniors who are collecting Social Security. According to a survey, approximately 13% of seniors, and that's millions, who collect Social Security receive $1,000 or less. So if you're receiving $1,000, not the less, not say $600 or $500 or something less, but if you're receiving $1,000, that 2.8% increase means you will get an increase of $28 per month on your check. You can't even buy a tank of gas for that. Many places you can't even buy a half a tank of gas for that. But let me compare this with something else that is happening, another change. Medicare Part B this year in 2025 cost $185. In other words, $185 is taking out of your Social Security for Medicare Part B. Next year, Medicare Part B is going up to $206. That's the standard. Now, if you make buckets and buckets and buckets of money, it's my understanding that you may have more taken out of your Medicare. But the standard deduction is $206. So if you're in the group that's making $1,000, you'll get $28 per month increase $21 is the increase for Medicare Part B. So out of your increase for Social Security, you will actually see $7. And if you receive significantly less than $1,000 a month for Social Security, the increase in Social Security won't even cover the increase in the cost of Medicare Part B. Now let me ask you, how many of you have grocery prices that have gone up only $7 per month? And that's just one area. How many of you have utility? Gas and electric, that's only gone up $7 a month. Water, that's only gone up $7 a month for those of you who live in sticks and bricks. For you, those of you who are nomads, campground costs that have only gone up $7 a month. Heck, most campground costs have gone up way more than $7 a night. But that's the second thing that's going to be changed is, again, the Medicare Part B going from $185 to $206 per month. Now, there is one change that actually is a good change, and that is the amount that you can earn annually if you're collecting your Social Security and not be penalized. That amount for 2025 is $23,400. For 2026, it's going to go up $24,480, which means you can earn an extra $1,000 if you're not at full retirement age, because the penalty is for every $2 you make that they will take $1 away. So you're only making half of what you earn above a certain amount, and that amount has now been changed. But my experience is that many people who are living strictly on Social Security are not able to work, are only able to work limited amount of time, so this really won't impact them. But for those who it does, you have an extra $1,000 now that you can make per month. There is some clause, and I don't really know it, so I'm not going to get really into the weeds on this, but when you reach your full retirement age, my understanding is what they took away from you, they add back and factor it into your Social Security. But I don't know all the details on that, so I'm not going to really address that. But if you are making $24,000 or more a year and you're collecting your Social Security, it might be something that you want to look into to find out all the details about that if you're not at your full retirement age. The next change is, and this is really a sore point for me, not the change, but the whole subject. And that is the amount of the maximum amount that you earn that is subject to Social Security taxes for, I think it's FICA, has increased from $176,100 to $184,500. Now let me explain what that is. If you make $176,000 this year, $76,100, you're taxed on that. But anything over that, you don't pay the Social Security tax on it. This year coming up, 2026, the amount that you can earn, that you will earn, that will be taxed, will be up to $184,000, which again, like I said, is a sore point for me, because that means anything over $184,000 you won't be taxed on. And that makes absolutely no sense to me. If you're making $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, 10, whatever, you should be able to afford to pay your full tax on it, even more so than someone who's making less, that's making, say, $40,000 or $50,000 a year. So you get a break. The richer you get, the more of a break you get on paying taxes, more so than those who are in the middle income, maybe making 40, 50, 60 or whatever. So that's a sore point, because there have been so many studies that I've seen that say if people who made in the upper brackets of income, like in the millions or even billions, if they paid their full tax amount, the Social Security fund would be solvent. But them getting a break, anyhow, I'm not going to go there because it's just a sore button. But if you're in that bracket, which I don't know many people who are, you won't have to pay after 184. So you're going to pay a little more. But anyhow, let's go on to the next thing. The next and the last thing that I'm going to go over is the full retirement age and how that's going to change in 2026. This has been incrementally changing over the last few years by 2 months each year. And right now, for people born in 1959 or before, the full retirement age is 66 and 10 months. So starting in 2026, for people born in 1960 or beyond, the full retirement age will be 67. What that means is if you collect your Social Security before age 67, you will get penalized. They take a certain percentage out from your check based on how many months or years that you draw early. Personally, I think the full retirement age is going to be upped significantly in the very near future. But that's just my opinion. It's pure speculation. But I think based on what is happening in society right now, I think the handwriting's pretty much on the wall. But let me know what you think. Do you agree that my speculation is probably going to come true? Or do you think I'm wrong? Let me know. And if you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments and give me a like, a thumbs up. It really helps my videos. And I'm going to be doing some additional videos this week coming up, sharing some ways to save money on meals and in some other things. And actually, I have some suggestions on how you can earn some additional money too. I'm still working on that video and I'm hoping to get it out soon. But I love each and every one of you. And I hope your journeys are filled with joy and blessings. And don't forget to join us Saturdays at 3 p.m. Pacific and 6 p.m. Eastern for Glow Live, where we have amazing conversations and chats. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.